Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm here to give you guys my review of Lucha Underground for Season 1, Episode 27, and this episode is called Agent Medallions. I don't know if that's how you say that, but it's in the title. And this episode was taped on February 22nd, 2015, and it aired on May 13th, 2015. And we had Matt Stryker and Vampiro on commentary for this show. And the show started off with Dario Cueto talking to his brother, and he was talking about how he has all the power in Lucha Underground, and he has these medallions from the ancient Greek gods of luchadors, and he said that separated they have pretty good power, but put together they have great power. Now, obviously, this was very confusing, and he says that he's going to put these together and someone's going to have great power in my temple. Now, obviously, this was very confusing, but when you watch the show, it makes more sense. But I like this segment here. I thought Dario Cueto came off very well, and I just liked it, so it was great. And then we had the first match on the show. It was Aerostar versus Jack Evans. This was Jack Evans' first appearance in Lucha Underground, and Jack Evans, that name sounds familiar to me. I've heard that name before. I don't remember. I believe I've seen him wrestle in ROH before, if I'm not mistaken, and I think he was in TNA for a short period of time. So, yeah. But he wrestled his first match in Lucha Underground, and his gimmick is that he's pretty much very cocky because he came out and he just was very full of himself. And I thought this match was really good that Aerostar and Jack Evans had. Aerostar dominated the beginning portions of this matchup by hitting a kick right to the back of the hamstring onto Jack Evans. He had a really cool flip dive on the outside. Jack Evans, though, took control of this matchup. He had a really cool spinning body slam onto Aerostar. Really cool spinning 619 right off the apron on the outside onto Aerostar. A really cool super kick. And he was really being very cocky in this matchup, just thinking that he was better than everybody else. He threw Aerostar into the steel post. Aerostar hit a Hurricanrana, a springboard elbow, a head scissors on the outside, and he ended up throwing Jack Evans head first into the guardrail, and then he tried to go off the and then Jack Evans ended up hitting a clothesline on the outside, and then he ended up going off the guardrail, and he hit a shooting star press right from the outside of the fans right onto Aerostar. That looked awesome. And he eventually goes for a superplex, but then Aerostar counters into a spinning inside-out pile driver for the win. And the way that Jack Evans sold the spinning inside-out pile driver was awesome. And this match was really good. If I had to rate this match, I'm going to give this match 3.5 stars. It was a really good match. I would definitely recommend you watch it. And it was just really good. And Aerostar won. And I still think that even though Jack Evans lost, he still looked really good in his debut, and I'm okay with him losing. Not everybody needs to win their debut matches all the time, just because of the fact that if everybody won their debut match, then it really wouldn't be believable. So I was okay with Jack Evans losing. He still looked really good even though he lost. And then we had a backstage segment with the Mac and Big Rick, and the Mac pretty much is asking Big Rick how he's coming to all this money that he's had, and Big Rick just tells him that it's his business, and the Mac's like, come on, man, we're family. And Big Rick pretty much just did family help us win and become the first ever Lucha Underground Trios champions. And he pretty much goes off on the Mac and the Mac says that he pretty much no and Big Rick says he pretty much will do anything for money, and he tells the Mac that all your showboating is really cool, but it's not going to get you anywhere with titles, and no matter if you're family or not, if I get paid a good amount of money, I could end up taking you out. So I like this. Maybe this is setting up a future program or something between the Mac and Big Rick. I'm really not sure where this is going, but I liked the backstage segment. And then we had Phoenix, Killshot, Cage, Sexy Star, Pentagon Jr., King Quano, and the Mac all in the ring. And Dario Cueto comes out and announces that he pretty much this kind of explained his earlier scene when he was talking to his brother. He was talking about how the Lucha Underground gods had these 1 of 7 medallions, and it could provide them great power and unique opportunity. So he's going to make 1 7-way match for one of the Aztec medallions, and I think they said there's 1 of 7 of them. So I'm assuming we're going to see a lot of matches for these medallions, and then we'll have another 7-way match, and maybe that's going to lead to like somebody getting all of them and getting some sort of like unique opportunity with it. I'm really not sure what's going on there, but he announces that this is going to be for the Aztec medallion. And this match was great. If you've never seen this match before, definitely check it out. Everybody starts getting into a brawl with each other. Cage ends up brawling with the Mac. Killshot gets into a brawl with, I believe, King Quano. And Sexy Star just kind of gets laid out. And Phoenix and Pentagon Jr. go at it for a little bit. Pentagon Jr. hits a super kick on the Phoenix. And Phoenix hits like a head scissors right onto Pentagon Jr. And then King Quano and Killshot went at it for a while, and I thought they had a really good exchange with each other. King Quano hits a really cool running drop kick. Killshot hits a really cool running double knees across the spine onto King Quano. And then Cage, as this is happening, is choking out the Mac, and Cage gets into the ring and takes out Killshot, and King Quano and Cage end up cleaning house. They hit a double suplex onto Killshot, and I believe it was the Mac, and then they both hit a Cage ends up hitting a 619 onto Killshot, and King Quano and Cage both go off the top rope, and King Quano hits a splash, and Cage hits an elbow drop, but Sexy Star breaks up the pinfall, and King Quano and Cage try to go after Sexy Star. They try to take her out, but then what ends up happening is King Quano accidentally takes out Cage, but there was more stuff that was going on in this matchup. Pentagon Jr. and pretty much the match kind of spilled into chaos from that point. Cage and King Quano tried to go after Phoenix and Killshot, or Phoenix and Pentagon Jr., but then eventually they ended up taking out Cage and King Quano, and they hit a Phoenix hit like a 450, and Pentagon Jr. hit a really cool double stomp. Pentagon Jr. hit another super kick on the Phoenix, and Cage ended up hitting a wicked clothesline onto Pentagon Jr. Phoenix hit a really cool backflip dive on the outside onto, I believe it was Killshot, and then Killshot before that it hit a flip dive onto King Quano. King Quano hit a a wicked suicide dive onto Killshot. And Sexy Star had the opportunity to take out King Quano, but because she had so much animosity towards Pentagon Jr., she ended up hitting a dive right onto Pentagon Jr. I liked that spot in the match. Pentagon Jr. hit a really cool Widow's Peak um, onto Sexy Style, and at the same time she ended up hitting a package pile driver onto Phoenix, and he tried to pin both of them, but the pinfall got broken up on both occasions. King Quano hit the Thrill of the Hunt, I believe, onto Killshot, but I don't really remember exactly which one. The Mac hit a really cool pump kick onto um, Cage while he was on the apron. Cage hit a really cool face first power bomb onto Phoenix, and eventually the finish comes when Phoenix hits a reverse hurricanrana onto Pentagon Jr. After Pentagon Jr. several times in the match was trying to break the arms of the opponents, and Sexy Style continued to save each and every one of the opponents, and then eventually hit a standing moonsault onto Pentagon Jr., covered him and got the win, so he ended up getting the Aztec medallion. But this was a great match here. I thought what I really liked about this match the most was usually in 7-way matches, um, you know, sometimes it could get really clustered and stuff, but this match I thought was very well structured and maintained, and I did like that when it did finally get chaotic, at least the match had some structure in it beforehand. And I also liked that when nobody was on screen doing anything in the ring, they were still fighting on the outside, because usually what's also ridiculous is sometimes the guy would just lay around for a while in these multi-man matches, and I kind of like in this match that wasn't happening. I even liked how Cage and King Quano were still attacking people after the match, so that was good. But yeah, this was a great match. If I had to rate it, I'll give it 4.5 stars. Then we had, I believe it was a backstage segment with, actually, no, the next one was a backstage segment with Dario Cueto, Son of Havoc, Evilise, and Angelico. And Dario Cueto announces that since Cortez Castro and Mr. Cisco defeated Son of Havoc and Angelico on the last episode of Lucha Underground, the crew deserves a trios six-man, no, sorry, a Lucha Underground Trios Championship match. So on the next episode, we're going to have the Lucha Underground Trios Championship match. But Son of Havoc and Angelico don't think it's fair because Evilise is still injured, and Evilise says that I don't really need, that I don't care if my leg is still injured. I can still use my hands to beat my opponents. But then Dario Cueto announces that it's going to be a ladder match, which obviously is very bad because obviously you need to have good quality legs to climb a ladder. So I liked it though because obviously it's Dario Cueto stacking the deck against the faces, and he's trying to make sure the crew win. Assuming on the next episode the crew will lose, because I don't really see the Son of Havoc and Evilise and Angelico losing the Lucha Underground Trios Championships, and I especially think that we're going to finally have the reveal of that beast that Dario Cueto's brother has got locked in the cage, because it's been built in for a while now, so I'm hoping that happens. But yeah, I like this segment. It was good. And I did like how they showed that this match really stacks the deck against it, because Evilise couldn't even open the door on her, by herself, so I liked that. And then we had another backstage segment with Phoenix and Katrina. And Katrina, actually what happens is Phoenix was getting himself together after that 7-way match. And Katrina, the lights go out and Katrina appears right in the room. And Katrina pretty much reveals that all that Phoenix was used was a plot device, so that way Mil Muertes could have his powers, the man of 1,000 lives, so that way he would be even more powerful. And Phoenix realizes he was played, and he goes to grab Katrina, but then the lights go out again. When they come back on, Katrina's gone, and then we see that some sort of luchador in a mask, which I'm assuming is supposed to be Mil Muertes, is up on the locker and like jumps down like he's going to attack Phoenix. So I kind of like this. I wonder where this is going. So yeah, really good. I liked it. And then we had the main event. It was a Lucha Underground Championship #1 contenders match. Hernandez versus Alberto El Patron, and the match could only be won by pinfall or submission. This match was a good match here. About Hernandez hits a pounce right on the outside on Alberto El Patron. He ended up hitting a wicked shoulder tackle. Alberto El Patron ends up hitting an arm breaker into a super kick, but Hernandez kicks out. Hernandez hits a powerbomb face first buster, but Alberto El Patron kicks out of that. And eventually, when Alberto El Patron is setting up for his cross arm breaker, Johnny Mundo runs out and he attacks Alberto El Patron. He hits a DDT on the floor, and then he takes him and he throws him right through the window of Dario Cueto's office, which I thought was awesome. And Dario Cueto's obviously very happy about this. And then Johnny Mundo puts him in the ring. Hernandez makes the cover and gets the win. And Hernandez becomes the #1 contender yet again for the Lucha Underground Championship. And afterwards, Johnny Mundo pretty much he pretty much is turned heel here and says that Lucha Underground is his house. And everybody comes out and removes Alberto El Patron in a stretcher. They cover his face. I like the fact that he was busted open because it makes sense. It makes sense that if you go through a window, you would be busted open. So I liked it, and it really put over the segment. Made it look brutal. It really put over Johnny Mundo as a heel, and I liked it. I actually am okay with the fact that Johnny Mundo is a heel, and I thought because I thought the turn was really well executed, and it gives Lucha Underground that top heel because they really don't have a top heel there. They have heels like King Quano, Cage, and the Crew and stuff, but I think now that Johnny Mundo's really turned heel, it gives that Lucha Underground that top heel that they needed. And then that was pretty much because. Well, I guess Hernandez, but we'll get into what happens with Hernandez. I don't think Hernandez really is a top heel. But yeah, that was pretty much the end of this Lucha Underground episode. I thought this was a great episode. I liked the main event. I liked the 7-way match. I liked the opening match. It was a really good wrestling show, and I also liked that they set up to next week to the next episode with the Lucha Underground Trios championship ladder match announcement and what's going to happen with Mil Muertes. So I thought this was a great episode. I'm going to give it a B, an 8 out of 10. That's pretty much the end of this review. I didn't rate the Johnny Mundo. The Alberto El Patron Hernandez match. That was a good match. I'll give it 3 stars. But yeah. That's pretty much my review of this episode of Lucha Underground. Please make sure you guys like, comment, and share this video so people will watch it. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel for more content and click on the bell so that way every time you upload a video, you guys will get the notifications for it. Make sure you guys do the same thing for my CM Brothers and Owen the Talkinator YouTube channels. And that's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.